By this time next week, it is expected the dark cloud over who becomes Nigeria's next president would have cleared. What remains unclear, however, is who the majority will choose. To analyze the history of this important day is Babajide Ogunsanwo, founder of Leadership by Data and Channels Television's data analyst. Babajide, great to see you, and today you have horses.
Oh, yes. You know what they say, this is a race of many horses, 18 presidential candidates. We have some front runners, and hopefully tonight I'll give you some insights as to what we'll expect from the three front runners from what the polls say.
Yeah, from what science says, and we seem to be relying a lot on polls this election. But let's begin with the opinion polls, which have been giving conflicting signals. Some are for predicting certain winners, some are predicting other winners. Is it difficult to predict in this election?
So it depends. There are two ways to look at this, Amarachi. One is to look at it, what does the Constitution say? The second is to look at what do the facts say, trends. The first is constitutionally. For a president to win, yes, you know you have to have the majority of the votes and you have to score at least 25% in 24 states. That is the Constitution. But there are three things that the fact shows as to the trend of who becomes Nigeria's president. And I'd like us to take a look at those top three facts tonight. Let's take a look at the first. How to become president in Nigeria. The fact shows, Amarachi, that no one born of a woman has become president in Nigeria without winning the North Central Zone. Statement of fact. Every president that Nigeria has had always wins the North Central. In 1979, the North Central was classified then as Benue, Plateau, Niger, and Kwara. Shehu Shagari won the North Central. In 1993, Abiola won the North Central. Same thing. 1999, 2003, Obasanjo won the North Central. So what we see as the first fact is that for you to become president, going by our history, you always have to win the North Central. Again, no president has won the majority of the votes without winning the North Central. Fact one. Now let's take a look at the second fact. The second fact shows that no one has become president of Nigeria without winning at least one zone from southern Nigeria. Again, no one. If we look at the facts, in 1979, Shehu Shagari won the equivalent of the South-South zone. In 1993, Abiola won the South-South and the South-West. In 1999, Obasanjo won the South-East and the South-South. And in 2003, Obasanjo became the first president to win all of the zones in southern Nigeria. In 2011, Jonathan did the same, won the South-East, the South-South, and the South-West. And President Buhari became president again only because he won the Southwest in 2015 and the Southwest in 2019. I repeat, just like the first fact, no one becomes president, or no one has become president without winning the North Central. This second fact shows that no one has become president without winning at least one zone from the southern region. Now let's take a look at the third and perhaps the most important fact. Overall, no one has become president of Nigeria without winning a minimum of 3 zones. In other words, you will not be president based on history if you win only 1 or 2 zones. Compulsorily, history shows us that you must win the North Central, you must win 1 zone in southern Nigeria, and overall, you need a minimum of 3 zones. Look at what happened in 1979. Shagari won the equivalent of the South-South, the North Central, and the Northeast. In 1993, Abiola won the equivalent of the South-South, the Southwest, and the North Central. Fast forward to 1999, we see zones won by Obasanjo: South-South, Southeast, Northwest, North Central, and Northeast. Same thing in 2003. South-South, Southwest, Southeast, North Central, and Northeast. In 2011, Jonathan won 4 zones, all zones but the Northwest and the Northeast. In 2015, Buhari won all the zones apart from the South-South and the Southeast. And in 2019, just as he won in 2015, President Buhari won all the zones apart from the South-South and the Southeast. The summary of what I've said, Amarachi, is there are 3 facts that history shows. 1, no one has become president without winning the North Central. 2, no one has become president without winning at least 1 zone from southern Nigeria. Number 3, no one has become president without winning in all at least 3 out of 6 zones. And so we're going to find out next week, Saturday, will history continue or will this history be broken?
Yeah, but that still doesn't answer the question if it's difficult to predict already. But let's go on. Let's move on. Because
so the question is, it's easy to predict if you look at the Constitution and if you look at these facts. We'll then say that whoever will win has to meet these facts.
Yeah, but you can't mention any candidates now. So if we do follow the data science, what sort of results should we then expect? And why, again, are these regions important for winning the elections?
So these regions are important because of unity. We expect a candidate to have, and that for me, that should be one of the first responsibilities of whoever wins, a candidate that can bring all parts together. And I'll explain why the data science even reveals this. If we take a look at how presidents have won, and if we look at the difference between what happened in 1999 to date, you'll see that presidents of Nigeria are having less national appeal. In 1999, Obasanjo and Atiku won 28 out of 36 states. In 2003, they won similar states. Amarachi, the problem today is, in the last 3 elections, we've seen a decline of national appeal of presidents. What I mean is, in 2011, if you look at what's in front of you, President or candidate President Jonathan won 24 out of 36 states. In 2015, candidate Buhari could not win 24 states. He could only win 21 out of 36 states. And in 2019, only 19 states. Compare 19 states that President Buhari won to 28 states that Obasanjo and Atiku won in 1999. So what we've seen in recent times is presidents are having less national appeal. That is the challenge we have. And so next week, we're hoping that this trend, this dangerous trend, will be broken. We wouldn't want a president that becomes victorious by winning fewer states, because that shows less national appeal. And that brings us to exactly what we call this 3-horse race, because this is where people are interested in which of these horses will win.
Yeah, so we will be looking at that probably next week when the results are out, Babajide, because I know you will be here to give us more analysis on that. Thank you so much.
I was just about to tell you which of these horses. I was going to tell you which of these horses is about to win, but
let's not do that. let's not do that.
All right.
Before we might.
I'll share more thoughts with you during the week.
Of course. Thank you so much for being here tonight.